Hey y'all, it's Mama Beth and I'm doing an episode today of Bitchin' in the Kitchen. Now, I'm not going to be using normal curse words, so that's why I'm going to be putting it on both channels because I think this is something that everybody needs to see. But I still am a little pissed off about it, but I'm not going to use the curse words and the F-bombs. I'll try real hard to stay away from those, but I am going to be using some words that a lot of people are really uncomfortable with. One is discrimination. Second is vagina, menstruation, period, tampon, uterus, lining, blood, bleeding. You get the gist. Yeah, we're going to talk about that today, and we're going to talk about things that are unfair and things that are going on around the world. And if you're a guy, stay tuned. I promise it won't get too, well, it might get a little squeamish, but I'll try not to make it too squeamish because every good man out there understands what it is to have a girlfriend or a wife who has her period and the things that she needs during those times. And also, if you have a wife or a girlfriend who is going to, well, we all do, from 12 to, what, 51, that's the average, you're going to need to know how expensive this is. And I'd like you to pay attention. But first, I want to talk about our attitudes. Y'all hush now, don't run this video. You know there are people that don't like dogs barking. Let's start this video off with the fact that I'm a Housewives fan. Y'all know it. I love the Housewives. I watched all the franchises. I don't think I love them equally, but let me tell you who I do like. It's Erica Jane on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And the other week, Erica was having a real bad period. We've all had them. It's literally worse than the flu. Sometimes it's been awful. And she comes in and she's like, I think I'm having the worst period of my life. Well, all of a sudden, those women started in their interviews, oh, we all have periods. Lisa Vanderpump, I wanted to slap her. We all have bad periods. We just get on with it. We don't need to speak about it. Well, yes, we do. We're women. And this is something that happens to us for 30 years, for a fourth of that time. Okay, every 4 weeks, every 28 days. Unless you're pregnant or something's going on, you're going to have a period. And we should stop making out like there's something wrong with speaking about it. Like there's, like it's a sickness. We're not sick when we have our periods. We feel like crap. Yeah, and we need some special treatment. But it's not like we're talking about having the bubonic plague. We're not contagious. We just need some care and we need some extra products. Okay, now let me explain in case you're not a Housewives fan and you missed that episode, which if you're not a Housewives fan, you really need to get Bravo. And Erica came in and she was talking about that she just didn't feel well. Well, they all got their bedrooms, and I guess she wasn't thinking, but white sheets, white everything, white bed linens covered, everything. And I don't know if there was a bathroom attached, but that's also something that you have to think of if you're having a really bad period. And yeah, we're going to say period a lot. She told the girls at that evening at the meal, she said, you know what, I'm going to go to a hotel because I really don't feel well. Look, she didn't feel like running up and down the beach or getting drunk in the moonlight or, you know, sitting there and yabbing, you know, with the girls. She was not feeling well. We all know how that feels. Therefore, we should be a little more sympathetic to our sisters, don't you think? No. Those bitches sat there and said, that was weird. Okay, so she's having her period. That's weird. I don't know why she would leave like that. Well, because first of all, she didn't want to ruin your sheets. She didn't feel like socializing. You know what? If Teddy had been a really good hostess, which she admits that she doesn't do the whole house guest thing and the girls trip thing. She's not used to doing that. And it's very obvious because when poor Erica Jane comes back the next morning, I mean, she went to a DoubleTree. This woman stays at the best hotels all over the world. She went to a DoubleTree, took a shower, and went to bed. She comes in, and they're all like... And Dorit, mouth, she needs to learn when to shut up because she hurt Erica's feelings by telling her that the girls were gossiping about her the night before. But Dorit is like, oh, I don't want to get on her bad side, so I guess you're just going to be the bone carrier as the Sheree is in Atlanta. But anyway, she tells them, and Erica's like, why do you think it was weird? Why are you acting like this? You know, a good hostess Teddy'd been a good hostess. When Erica came through the door, she'd have handed her a glass of orange juice, 2 Milo, and said, come on in. And if she'd have been a really good hostess, when they were saying, well, why did Erica leave? She's like, she could say, which I would have done in a heartbeat, because y'all know mouth here. I'd have been like, she's having a bad period. Leave her alone. It's not weird. Thank goodness she doesn't want to ruin my sheets. All right, because we've all done that too. All right, we've ruined underwear, we've ruined pants, we've ruined skirts, we've ruined sheets. You name it, if it was there, you know, a woman has blood on it, most likely. You know, if hopefully not the one you're sitting on or the one you're wearing, but it happens. That's why she went to the hotel. She was being considerate. I for one was like, you go, girl. That's the way to handle it. But Teddy didn't handle it right. Teddy got her feelings hurt because when Erica, rightfully so, said, you all shouldn't have been gossiping about me. I don't understand why you would say anything about it. And then Teddy comes over and like tries to pet her when she's the one that should have been taking control of the conversation. Erica's like, I don't need to be petted. This is me being hurt. Just leave me alone. And then they all got the heck out of there. Okay, why is it that these women who are all in their 40s and 50s are acting like 12-year-olds? Waiting on their first period, and which friend has it first? We all did that. Who did that? I did that. Who got it first? You know, which one got it first? Who got it later and was like, am I ever going to get my period? Am I ever going to hit puberty? We all worry about it from the time we're like 9. I think one of my friends started at age 9. Most of us start. It's the average age 12. All right, but I remember there used to not be a lot of feminine products on, and I'll just say feminine products because I'm talking about Midol, tampons, Tampax, Playtex, panty liners. The word panty liners would send me out of a room if my dad was in there watching TV with me. I was so embarrassed. Why? You know, it's a normal bodily function. So why are women embarrassed? Why are we shamed? You know, if you look into the religious teachings, they tell the woman that during her time of the month she has to go live in another tent. She's not allowed to sleep with her husband. Yeah, all y'all need to go read Leviticus if you want to understand that if you sleep in the same bed with your wife while she's having her period, you're going to hell. Okay? That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So I guess we're all sinners. But anyway, you know, I'm a Christian, but I don't believe some of the stuff in the Bible. I think it's a far-fetched. But anyway, women are treated like we're dirty or unclean during the time of our period. We're not. We're not. We may ruin some underwear. You know, we may feel like crap. We may be evil. Because I know PMS can hit you like a ton of bricks. But there's no reason for us to teach our daughters and for them to teach their daughters that there's something wrong with us. Now, I'm going to go into some facts here for a minute, and you know I always have my trusty notes on my phone so I don't screw anything up and tell y'all something wrong. We're going to talk about the price of a period and how it affects, how this, you know, this attitude toward menstruation, you know, it affects women throughout the world. And I'm not going to go put on a pink hat and march. I think that's stupid. I'd rather write letters and call people on the phone because, frankly, I'm not marching anywhere on my cane, although my cane's pink. But no, I'd rather talk to you here. And I hope if you have daughters and sons that you'll bring them and, you know, sit them down and say, listen, this is what goes on. And you need to be a little more compassionate and loving to the women in your life when they're going through this, okay? I'll be right back. Okay. Now, you know I love facts and figures. I can't do math for crap, but I really like when we break it down to the statistics. So, how much does a period cost you? How much does it cost to have a vagina and a uterus and fallopian tubes and ovaries in a lifetime? Have you ever stopped to think? Well, let's get down to brass tacks. You know, a recent experiment, and this is from the Huffington Post, Washington Post, Jezebel.com. There are about 8 websites that I went to make sure that I had the facts on this correct. Hang on, let me open it back up. When you look at it, you can't look at just sanitary napkins, Kotex, pads, panty liners, tampons. You need to look at everything that comes with it. And it depends on each place. But let's take it down to the numbers. Okay, on average, a woman has her period 3 to 7 days a month. And the average woman menstruates from, say, on this we're going age 13 until age 51. Okay, now some went 12 to 50, but same difference. That means the average woman endures 456 total periods over 38 years, or roughly 2,280 days of her life where she's going to be miserable. That's 6.25 years of her life. Now we know the average woman's lifespan is between 77 and 78 years. So that's a lot of time. All right. Let's start out with Midol. You can only take up to 6 caplets a day, and cramps usually persist for about 2 days. There are 40 caplets per package of Midol, which costs $8.99 at Walgreens, according to this. 12 caplets times 456 periods equals 5,472 caplets. At 40 caplets per container, that's 136.8 Midol purchases times $8.99. That's if the price stays the same. So over your lifetime, just for Midol, for 2 days in your period, you're going to pay $1,229.83. Tampons. There are other options, okay, but let's face it, 70% of women use tampons. And you're instructed to change your tampon every 4 to 8 hours, so we'll use 6 hours as the average. A box containing 36 tampons costs $7 at Walgreens. Now that's for the store brand, that's not for the good ones. 1 tampon every 6 hours equals 4 tampons a day, 5 days of a period, 20 tampons per cycle, 456 periods, that equals 9,120 tampons. At 36 tampons a box, at the cheapest price available, and that's the in-store brand, you're going to pay, oh gosh, $1,773.33. Panty liners. Now, some women prefer pads, and some combine tampons with panty liners, which that's just smart to do, as a backup. If you can afford it, do it. For our purposes, we'll say that women use an average of 5 liners per period. A box containing 36 panty liners costs $7, and that's, once again, for the generic at Walgreens. 5 liners per cycle, 456 periods, equals 2,280 pads. At 36 pads per box, that's 63.3 boxes times $7. Once again, cheapest, and if the price doesn't change, it's $443.33. Okay, we've talked about the oopses. New underwear due to stains. Leaking happens to nearly all women, causing permanent stains on your underwear. Women own an average of 34 pair of underwear. That's an average. I don't know where they got that average from, but that's probably about right. And we'll assume each woman bleeds through 1 pair of underwear per period. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's more, and sometimes you get away with none. But 1 for this. Okay, 1 pair of underwear is about $5 at Target. If you can buy $5 underwear at Target and get them to last more than a couple months being washed and just normal wear, good luck on you. But my underwear does not cost $5 at Target. I don't shop at Target. But, well, I haven't in years. We just don't have one near us. I'm not being a snob. But my underwear is a lot more expensive than that. But they're going the cheap route. So one $5 pair of underwear per period times 456 periods in a lifetime is $2,280. Okay, now we all know that right before your period you want something sweet, sugary, chocolate. Okay, they even added that in. 1 bar of chocolate per period, 456 periods in a lifetime, $2 per chocolate bar, that's $912. Acne medication for breakouts. Well, no, we get that one zit at least. You know, I never broke out except for right before my period to get a little bitty one. And I have a really good skin, thank God. But, yeah. So you're going to need some basic acne medication. They use Neutrogena Spot Cream, which costs $7.49 at the time of this study. It would last an average of 3 years if only used during that time a month. Good luck on that. 38 years of periods divided by 3 years, 2.6 times $7.49 per tube. That's $94.87. You're paying $100 for acne cream just right for your period. Only to use during your period. Y'all hush. Mama's talking. I'm trying to make sense. Birth control. Now remember, this is not just how much your period costs. We want to make sure that everything's okay. Because if you have a period, you have a uterus and you have a cervix and you need to get regular checkups. You also need to be on birth control. Now, studies show that 80% of women use oral contraceptive at some time in their lives. The monthly purchase adds up. And even if it is covered by health insurance, you're still going to have to pay some of it. And 33% of women who are covered still pay out of pocket, and pills from Planned Parenthood cost anywhere from nothing to $50 per month. People always talk about Planned Parenthood and abortion, but they forget about contraception and free condoms and all that stuff. Keep that in mind. So for our graph, we'll set an average of $25 a month for birth control. $25 per month times 456 periods, $11,400, okay? Just for taking your oral contraceptive during the time that your periods are occurring in your life and you need to be on birth control. Heating pads. They really went in on it. You got to have a heating pad. I remember being in high school and cramping so bad, and I remember my mom actually doubled up a towel and put an iron. We didn't have a heating pad for some reason, but she put an iron on low on my stomach, and it helped. I'm not advising you to iron your stomach, but I just remember the weight and the heat, and I'm thinking, God, we really have to go through this. And because I had a terrible time. Me and several of my friends, and we are all synced up. 2 heating pads at an average of $20 each, $40. So you add all of these up, and it's expensive to be a woman. It's really expensive. Hang on, I'm gonna add these up. I did the math. Okay, now remember, we went by using all generic, cheapest products, other than Midol was a name brand, but everything was the cheapest possible. The underwear alone. My underwear is $15 to $20 a pop. So you got to look at this. When I added these numbers up that I told you, it was $18,173.36 just for being a girl. Okay, and that doesn't count all the extra laundry and sheets and clothes that you'll run and all that stuff. Now, if you go back, because I was looking at this and I'm thinking that's about a third, all these prices are about a third lower. So you're looking at almost, what, $25,000? Maybe when you have a daughter, you should put 25 grand in the bank so she'll have money just to pull out once a month after she starts puberty. I don't know. But we're looking at problems not only, you always think about, you know, we've heard about the girls in Africa who miss school for a week because they don't have any sanitary products. They're in pain, they're bleeding, they literally cannot take care of themselves at school, so they miss school, you know, for a week, almost a week a month. And, you know, that's difficult on girls getting education. But it doesn't happen just in Africa and a faraway village where the girls, you know, are beautiful and long-limbed and, you know, have ebony skin and, you know, go to a school and, you know, and you think of that and you think that's so different than us. But you know what? Kids from low income backgrounds here in the United States have the same problem. Yeah. We're finding that kids that come from parents, like single-parent families, they end up missing school just as much as the ones that we think of in Africa. I'm going to read you a couple articles. Okay, here's one from the Independent UK. They have found that British girls from low-income families are missing school during their periods because they cannot afford sanitary protection, prompting charities working with women and girls abroad to move their projects closer to home because they're sending money to, you know, faraway places, but they're forgetting about the people at home, okay? These young girls are afraid. This one young lady, she said that, you know, her mother, she lived with her mother. Her mother was a single parent, worked all the time. There was not money. It cost an average of £7 pounds, they said, in the UK per month for a girl to have her period. All right, that's a lot of money for a low-income family with 5 mouths to feed. And this girl said there were 5 children. You know, so how do you make do? There are tales in this. This just blows my mind. One pupil who started her period at age 11 told BBC Radio Leeds that she had taped a toilet roll to her underwear and missed school every month because she couldn't access sanitary protection. I wrapped a sock around my underwear just to stop the bleeding because I didn't want to get shouted at. I once sellotaped tissue to my underwear. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't get any money because my mom was a single parent. she had too many mouths to feed. So there wasn't much leftover money in the pot to be giving to us. They've done the truancy. This breaks my heart. You know, they've done the truancy figures, and they're hard to read because you don't know whether the girls are of that age are just staying out because of their periods and they don't have what they need, or there are other reasons. So they're having to go into this. And this article was from last year. But in the U.S., it's just as bad. It's not just the U.K. It's all over. There's an article on here about a young girl from an Indian reservation, and she said that, you know, while she had enough money, she ended up always keeping extra products in her locker so she could give to her friends so they wouldn't mess. Because basically, one tampon will get a girl through the school day. You know, so she kept them for her friends. Teachers are being asked to supply things. You know, you go to your teacher if you don't have anything. You know, and one of the things that I love about women is that you can go, and you can ask any woman, she'll tell you the same thing. You can go into any bathroom and say, I've started my period. And women will go, here, here. And we'll start digging through our purses because we understand. We're not like those Beverly Hills housewives. Most of us know that, you know, sometimes we're caught without protection. Or our period comes early. Or, you know, it comes too heavy and we have to, you know, and we run out of things. So women are very generous in the bathrooms. You know, we're good to each other. But I'm talking about young girls here who are afraid to ask, don't have the money in their household to buy what they need. We need to start helping here at home. And, you know, I remember back when I was teaching dance, I had my dance studios, and we, of course, had a bathroom, and there was a little medicine cabinet. I always kept a box of tampons, and I swear those tampons would disappear every couple days. And, you know, I taught girls. I had a few boys, but it was mostly girls. Tampons would disappear. And I'm glad I had them there. And I would have pads sometimes. You know, and I hope that I helped some girls, you know, actually be able to participate and do things who wouldn't have been otherwise. But, you know, I just can't understand why there's an extra tax on our stuff when we don't ask for this. This isn't something that we chose. Nobody said, hey, I'd like to sign up for the monthly period thing for, you know, 30-some years of my life. No, nobody does that. 38 years? No. But why are women being punished for it? Frankly, I think that basic sanitary products should be free. And, or at least the cost of all of this be taken off our taxes. You know, if young girls, you know, let the schools, we need to start getting the schools to provide, you know, what the girls need. And people say, oh, well, if you leave them out, you know, they'll take all of them. Well, then they need them. I don't think anybody takes them home to play with them. They don't paint on the wall with them. You know, that's crazy. But we need to have them in our schools. But we also need to have it for, you know, adults as well. Young women who are struggling. You know, $7 a month. Listen, I've had pretty tight times in my life. And, you know, sometimes it was kind of iffy if I was going to be able to get gas or, you know, go get a box of tampons. But I managed. And, you know, and we do manage as women. But what we're managing to do sometimes isn't what's best for our health. Women in India and Africa and in the lower income families are seeing an increase in cervical cancer. And it's because they do not have sanitary products. They're using old rags, you know, sometimes, and a practice that I was reading about was that they use, you know, actually plant material and dung. And that just, but you do what you have to do. I mean, it's not like you can go sit in the river while you bleed, you know, for 7 days. And, you know, you have to be able to take care of yourself. But think about that. And let's think about our attitudes towards women, okay? Don't, let's not be ashamed as women of what is normal for 38 years of our lives. You know, for 1 week out of every month, we go through this. So let's be kind to each other. And I don't want to see anybody ever treated like poor Erica Jane was. You know, seriously, I was angry when I got done watching the show, and I've been thinking about doing this ever since. And if you're a young girl watching this, or if you're a young mom that's got a daughter to raise, teach her not to be ashamed. Teach her to stand up for herself and say, you know, this is going on and it's a natural function. It's nothing to be made fun of. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. And let's start treating each other a little bit kinder when it comes to issues like this. You know, it's not going away, okay? Unless you have a hysterectomy. Thank God I did, because I'm done with that. Still have to go for my checkups and things like that, but, you know, it's important that we treat ourselves with kindness, and we treat the ones we love with kindness. We treat women with kindness, especially during the time of the month. All right, let's see if we can't make some changes. By the way, homeless women need help with this. If you are in an area where there are homeless women, go buy some tampons and hand them out. Give them out, because that's one of the main things that they need. Socks and tampons. It's the two main things that are asked for. All right. Think on this. Speak on this. Let's make some changes. Okay? I love you. You love you. Bye.